What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Diecast Dad. Today we're diving into one of the biggest debates in the Hot Wheels collecting community. Should you keep your cars carded or should you keep your cars loose? Whether you're a die-hard collector or someone new to diecast collecting, this is definitely a conversation for everyone. So let's go ahead and jump into today's video. Let's go ahead and go over some of the pros and some of the cons to keeping your cars carded. So first off, we have a mainline here. Obviously, you go to the store, you can buy a mainline for $1.25, $1.30, things like that. So if you're collecting for value, obviously a mainline is a mainline at the end of the day. So the value just depends all on the person. If you're collecting for value, who you're going to sell your collection to, what are they willing to pay? One of the cons would be, if you're storing this and, to hold off for, 20 years to sell your collection, you're going to have to find, a pretty big container. It's going to take up a lot of space. Or if you're hanging these on your wall, you can only hang up so much before you run out of room. Especially if you're collecting for value, you're going to want to get one of these protectors, especially for your things like your super treasure hunts and your Zamax and specialty cars and things like that. Obviously, the blister comes off the card quite a bit, so this takes up more room if you're going to be storing them in boxes, and they take up a little bit more space as it's a little bit wider than the original card if you're going to be storing it on your wall and things like that. So let's go ahead and go over some of the pros and some of the cons to collecting loose. Some of the pros to collecting loose would obviously be you get to open them up, you get to enjoy them, you get to see the craftsmanship, and you get to play with them. You get to display them however you want. You get to put them on dioramas, on a nice shelf if you have a gasser shelf. I know Diecast Boy Wonder has a gasser shelf where he has all of his gassers. So that's where this 64 Nova Wagon Gassers, even though it's a super treasure hunt, he cracked it open. It mostly sits on that gasser shelf, but he does play with it every once in a while. So as you see, it's in pretty good condition. So in this condition, it's still worth some money because it's still mint. And as we know, it's a super, so it's still worth some money. Even this 64 Nova Wagon Gasser Zamax is still worth quite a bit depending on, the collector that wants to get it for their collection. Some of the cons would be for collecting loose is they get dusty. So you're going to have to be dusting them off and take a time out of your day to clean, the dust off the shelf. They can roll off the shelf, get scratched up, dinged up. And then things like this super treasure hunt ain't really worth anything once it gets all, paint chips and things like that. And then again, it comes down to space. How much space do you have for your collection? When they're off the card, they don't take up that much space. But if you're collecting every single variant of every single car and you're trying to get them all, you're not going to have space in your room and to be able to have, all the shelves to house all the cars. As we know, Hot Wheels definitely, they release multiples and multiples of these cars in different color variants. So it's, it comes down to how you want to collect. It's all personal preference. It's a hobby at the end of the day. If you're collecting for monetary value, obviously the supply of the car is what dictates the price. So if the car is in high demand, the price is going to go up. If the car is in low demand, the price is going to go down. You're not going to get rich off of going around and getting super treasure hunts. Obviously, some people are only willing to pay $35 to $70 depending on the car. Again, like I said, it all depends on supply and demand of the car. So there we have it, the great debate in the Hot Wheels collecting community, if you should keep your cars carded or if you should keep them loose. Let me know in the comments down below if you're team carded or team loose and how you guys like to collect or display your collections. Me personally, I collect both ways. I have some carded cars and some loose cars. As you guys know, we do a lot of unboxings of M2s, Johnny Lightnings, and Hot Wheels on the channel. If you guys haven't already, hit that subscribe button to be notified about future uploads from the channel, and it helps the channel grow. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch you guys all on the next one. See ya.